Okay. Excellent connection. All right. All right, guys. There we go. A very beautiful Sunday afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from wherever you are tuned in. Just go to the comment section and let us know where you're getting us from. Today being our best day of the week. I normally love Sundays. A day of a lot of blessings.
Yes.
How was your week, sir?
My week, I want to say very candidly, first of all, just to appreciate every Sunday. I look forward to having this Sunday so that we can share. We can be able to share these candid conversations.
Okay, you can just off the network, but we are good.
I wanted to share.
Oh, you haven't shared?
I haven't shared. Can I share?
Good. Just share. Just share.
And trying to
Sharing
share.
is caring.
So I just click share now.
Just share.
I think
so that because sharing is caring.
I've shared on my timeline. So should we proceed now?
All right, then kidogo, you need to gadget off just in case somebody will interfere.
I mute the gadget?
Yeah, even the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi.
Oh, even the Wi-Fi.
Yes,
so
yes, so that
off.
nobody interrupts this show.
Okay.
Good, and there we are. It's a beautiful Sunday.
Yes, good to see you one more time, and I'm glad that we are here.
We are glad. Yes. God is good.
All the time.
All the time, God is good.
It can never get better. You know, once you have God, things are good.
You don't need to worry.
You don't need, absolutely.
Okay.
You put worry aside.
So what was your motivation throughout the week? Whom did you meet? What did you find motivating? Anything?
Okay, my highlight for the week, I would say, I had a pretty busy week, which is a good thing. I had a lot of course, my continuing online sessions, both on Premier Writing Masterclass,
yes,
online coaching.
Yes.
That went pretty well.
Yes.
Then one of the highlights was on, when was it? I think on Friday. I met an alumni that we were with in high school, and you know, we had very candid conversations, and it really was a good time to just.
So you met someone.
Yes.
You associated with someone.
Somebody I was with in high school, like right now, maybe around 19 years ago.
Okay.
Yes. So you can imagine.
That is why I bring this question of whom do you associate with?
Power of association. I love the way you pick on your topics, by the way. I really do. Very timely, very on point.
Yes, sir.
Because at the end of the day, we are looking at how do we continue growing ourselves. And you know, the day you stop growing is the day you actually die. As I've always mentioned, my mantra is stagnation stinks. So to avoid
pole pole.
My mantra, as I've mentioned, is stagnation stinks. We all know what happens to water that has stagnated. There'll be mosquitoes breeding in it. There'll be other parasites also finding their home there, which will eventually cause diseases.
Yes.
Not to mention the pungent smell that comes out from stagnant water.
Hata gari ikipita ndani utapeleka kwa fundi kama kuna kitu imesakama.
That's what we're talking about. So
nimepita kwa hayo maji siku moja nikakuwa na engine failure.
Kwa sababu maji yenyewe
it costed me nearly 50,000. Actually 52,000.
Look at the mess. Look at the mess.
Stagnant water.
So stagnation is really bad, and we are supposed to be progressive every other time. And part of progression is determined by the people that you associate with. Period. I'm putting it in black and white.
Taratibu kwa
I'm
Kiswahili.
putting it in black and white.
Nguvu ya ushirikiano ama uhusiano ama ushirika ama
ushirika, tunaweza sema nguvu ya ushirika ni kubwa sana. Na I think the best place to see the power of association is in the Bible for the believers, and I also believe in the Quran, where we are seeing at Jesus the Messiah is here. He has all the power. He is actually God. But what does he do? He chooses the 12 to walk with him, to do exploits,
to associate with some.
He associated with these
some
12
fellow
disciples on a very close level. Still out of the 12, he had the 3.
Still out of the 3, he had 1. Huna habari?
Is that Peter?
Aka kwa kembele mbele. By the way, do you know Peter? Peter ni jamaa moja ambaye kama ungeandika jina lake kwa blackboard useme that's your name, hajui, hakusoma. Yule bwana alijua kuvua samaki tu.
Fisherman.
Bas.
Na Mungu Yesu akawatoa kule fishers of fish, fishers of men.
Motivating story kwa aka Kabuda ni kwamba wakati kanachaguliwa kwamba hako ndio the rock.
Yes,
nobody
Peter the
expected.
Rock. Yes.
Kulikuwa na kina Mark wamesoma.
John and James, who was also very close to Christ.
Hapo chacha.
Yes, na unaona inajitokeza vizuri kwa sababu even in this context, Christ needed a team.
Yes.
Christ needed to associate with people who would enhance his ministry here on earth. And of course, we know how that went. Of course, leading to the Great Commission, which then helped in the spread of the gospel throughout all the parts of the world. So the key thing here is you need to associate with people, and maybe just to bring this to clarity, the power, the principle of association. Do you know what it says?
I have no idea.
The principle of association states that you are the sum total of the 5 people who you closely associate with.
Nipeleke pole pole.
You, the principle states, Bwana Fred, that you are the sum total of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with.
So if I count, I have 1 VTT. I have 2 by the way, our producer, our
able producer.
Ngoja tutamuonesha
our viewers need to see her, by the way. She's doing a great job. Thumbs up, Lynn.
Girl child represented.
Totally.
Yani wanasema what a man can do, a girl child can do better.
That is debatable. It's relative. If we go there, we'll start a new discussion.
Okay, I go back to where we were on the 5 people.
Yes.
Like, I have a wife, I have a son, I have a neighbor, those are 3. Where I work, kuna mtu tunafanya naye kwenye desk, huyo ni mtu wa 4. So the 5th person atakuwa conductor wa matatu ama?
Sidhani conductor wa matatu watumia muda mchache sana pale kwenye gari. Tena ukiingia ni umpe nauli,
kila mtu
ufuatilie shughuli zako ushuke. So pengine pale kwa kazi, nani mwingine una uhusiana naye? Pengine hata si pala pa kazi, yule rafiki yako mwingine ambao huwa uko naye muda mwingi, ambao mnapigiana simu, ambao mnakutana, huyo anaweza kuwa ni 5. Essentially, what this principle does is this close circle that you interact with most of the time has the power to influence a lot of the person that you are becoming. Let's take, for example, when we are growing in our families, of course, most of the time we spend it with our parents and our siblings. The effect our parents had on us, for many of us, was very strong.
Yes.
Because they will imprint in you the person that you want to become eventually. You get my point? So, how you turn out, how your view of life was imprinted from the family level. Of course, later on we get out, we go to high school, we go to colleges, we go to university, we get to the streets. Again, the people who we relate with most come into count.
Yes.
Let's just look at a basic nuclear family, a wife, a husband.
Yes.
Now, there's always been this element that the partner you end up marrying or, you know, being in a relation with
Yes.
constitutes largely for how you will turn out. That is once you get into maybe a relationship or into a marriage. But even outside that, maybe you are still single and the people who are surrounding you, and we are narrowing it down to the 5, 4, 3, 2 people. You know, the number keeps going down.
Just like Christ from 12, then
Yes,
3,
exactly.
then 1.
Then 1. Those people influence you largely. And this principle works every other time. Because if I could take us back, those who are already on this live stream, and we love you and we appreciate you. Remember the time the boys club came out, you know, Jeff Koinange, the CEO, KCB,
Yes,
Waigara,
yes.
of course the late Bob. And,
Bob,
I mean, look at that powerhouse. Everybody there was moneyed out of association.
I saw an article sometimes back on social media.
Yes.
It was actually a photo of 2 horses.
Yes.
One black and the other, actually one black in a company of about 5 or 6 white horses.
Yes.
And the black had a caption that, "I am a hero because I run with heroes."
A totally, absolute correct
Illustration. So,
there's no way that horse will not also be a hero, because he's in the company of champion horses.
hivyo kama ninashinda na mtu wa, yani masaa yangu mengi niko na watu wa kuuza magari.
Yes.
I will end up selling cars.
Largely. Or if you will not end up selling cars,
I'll end up buying.
You probably you will buy, or you might learn a few selling skills on matters cars. And if you will not learn selling skills on cars, somehow you will be tuned towards what they are doing. Because I'm imagining, ideally here, you're having a friend, and this friend is a car dealer. Most of the time, he will be talking about cars. Most of the time. And out of it, you'll start getting influenced, and you'll also get an interest in this whole car thing. Before you realize it, either you will be selling cars together, or you will be helping him get clients to sell.
Sure. Like, I've spent a lot of time in an office that takes people to Hajj.
Yes, for the pilgrim.
Yes. For sure, I can take you to Hajj, even though I've not been there. I know how it looks like.
You can imagine.
I've not been there.
And you're not even a Muslim, but you are in that space.
Yes.
The power of that association is very surreal. Of course, there are basics that we have to look out for.
Yes.
Even as we are talking about this power of association. You need to be intentional. You know, many times when afraid, we forget being intentional on the people that we want to surround us. There are people you will never choose in your life. They will automatically be there. Let's say family. But then you can choose how much time you spend with them, especially when you're an adult. If, let's say, you have a sister, you have a brother, you have a cousin, or, you know, a blood relative who really, when you are around them, you feel drained. You have to reduce the time you spend with them. And this analogy works best. There are people you can spend with 10 minutes. Others you can spend with a whole hour. Others you can spend with 10 hours. And this will be determined with how you feel. You know, there are people you start a conversation with them and it doesn't feel like that conversation is ending. It just keeps improving and getting better. Even for you, before, hey man, you mean we've been on this for the last 2 hours? That is something that shows there's some connection.
Yes.
There are people after the greetings, if you are left alone, you'll go grab your phone and start looking at it because already there is really nothing you want to talk about.
Even when you are in a company of some people, you see some people on a phone already.
Yes.
Like I went somewhere and there were 5 guys in the house, in the living room.
Yes.
And no one was talking to the other. Everyone was talking to the fingers. And
Continue. What signal did that give you?
I thought everyone was in his own world.
Absolutely. They are not connected. Maybe they could even be relatives or family members, but they are disjointed.
Actually, 3 of these 5 people,
Yes.
one was a father, the other one was a mother, the other one, and then
For already family members who seem like communication model, such that people are feeling maybe guys too, I'd rather chat with somebody on WhatsApp or check an update on Instagram or on Facebook. But then let us remember that even that is association. The people that you're associating with
on the
a
pages,
lot on the pages,
yes,
you're interacting,
yes,
maybe DMs and everything.
yes.
They also will influence
They
your mindsets and ultimately even your activities. So you have to be intentional. For example, I'll use my own example.
Yes.
I have around 30, I'll confirm, but I think I have around 35 people I've followed on Instagram. I've selected them deliberately. I know I'm following Get Yours page because of this. I'm following TDJX because of this. I'm following Mwanesi because of this. There are people I've deliberately followed. Okay, sometimes this is subconscious. You might follow people on your timeline. Then let's say you're open a lot of messages that you don't even need. Hence, remember, it is a subtle way of having imprinted in your mind, depending with what are you seeing in this particular time. So one of the submissions I want to give to our listeners, intentional to the people you have on social media.
Yes.
Be intentional with the people that you need to do this by looking at what you add to them vis-a-vis what value they'll add to you. Of course, it's important to spend time or to be surrounded by people who are wiser, mature,
Yes.
and better than you. People who you look up to.
Yes.
But even when you are with these people, you also need to bring some value, a little bit of value in the conversations that you're going to have, because nobody again will just want to be around people who drain them. As much as they might be better than you, there are also a few things you could add in there such that they also feel, okay, I think I like being around VTT. As much as he's learning from me, I think there's a connection. Once you strike what you're calling the mutual chord, where I'll be able to feel spending time with Fred is really worth it. And also Fred will feel the same. Remember, and this is something many speakers don't like saying, every human being has self-interest. I've said it. Everybody. That's how we are wired. Everyone has self-interest.
Including me.
And even myself.
Right.
And even our producer.
Yes.
The key thing is, where do we strike a chord where I can, I can also get some benefit by associating with you. This is something many people don't like saying candidly, but I have said it because we are legit in Word Cafe. We want to grow together. So this therefore means that with the people that you are with, whether they are above you or below you, the chord is, what value will I also give? At the end of the day, if there's something that I can do for you, then you will feel that I'm building you up as much as you are building me. Then the mutual chord will be struck and we will rise together. Because remember, the table, somebody will get, you'll be like a leech, a parasite, which of course is not a good relationship to be in.
True.
Be it business, even family. Our children, there's some value they bring to our lives. The laughter, the warmth, So, benefits are not only the benefits are benefit alone. association enhances, but it's not. In fact, in most cases, will enable you to get contacts,
Yes.
and once you get, and you are also able to later on.
Okay.
To study abroad, and because of the network he had created, it took him less than 2 months to raise the tuition fee that he needed, and it was quite
In less than
2 months, and it was quite a lot of dollars that were
Okay.
needed. But people supported him because he had the right associations. So associations really matter. Sometimes you might just need to be connected to someone who will be the destiny helper that you've been waiting for.
only one person.
Only one person. And the whole matrix changes. And that is determined by the people you are around. For example,
Yes.
you are just having a basic conversation, let's say with a colleague. It could be on phone, or maybe you've met over coffee, and you're like, brother Saisi, you know, I'm looking for somebody who can manage my books of account. You know, and maybe the person you are with knows a person who knows a person. Through that,
Or you are the person.
or you are the person. Hey, you're asking this. I mean, I can do this for you.
Okay.
I'm good at it. Or you're there just a leisurely talk with a friend or a colleague or a relative. And they're like, you know, I have this machine in my house. I think it just died, and I'm thinking of selling it as junk. And this person tells you, I can come around and look at it. And to your surprise, this person fixes. It could be a refrigerator, it could be a smart TV or anything.
Yes.
By associating with the right people who have some value, not people who get just, who sip from you, but people who add on you. Because remember, we all need to be rejuvenated. And
So do we need people who gain, nitumie lugha gani? Lazima tuwe na watu ambao lazima tutoe kwao, na lazima tuwe na watu ambao lazima watoe kwetu, ama kwa kizungu umepata? Lakini
nimepata point yenye unaleta. Hiyo chemistry nimepata. Lazima katika mahusiano yote
kuwe na inlet na outlet.
Not necessarily inlet and outlet, kuwe na balance.
Okay.
Kuwe na balance kwamba any time you spend with people,
yes,
there is a mutual benefit for everyone. Kuna watu wanafurahi kuwa na wengine kwa sababu mimi najua nikikaa karibu na Lynn, Lynn ni mcheshi sana. Kwa hivyo sitaboeka. Naweza kaa naye muda mwingi kwa sababu anatoa story ambazo zitanifurahisha.
Kweli?
That's a benefit. Ushanipata?
Nakupata.
So, sometimes you just need that refreshing person who cracks jokes with you, who tell you things as they are, and most importantly also who share ideas. You are able to share with them ideas.
Yes.
There's nothing as depressing as being around people who are always complaining about things.
Yes.
By the time you finish having a 2, 3, 4 minute conversation with them, you are drained, you are tired. And that's where the difference comes in. There are people who will just say, the other day you were telling me that you have this particular difficulty. I think you can talk to person X.
So and so.
Who, you just go talk to person X. And, you know, you go talking to person X and your problem here is solved. You know? So it is very prudent that we also look at the character.
Yes.
So never start associating with people by looking at the gains that you'll get. That again will chase people away.
Yes.
Because even the richest of men doesn't want you to, to come and just get from them. No. They want to feel that this is real, and associating with you will also be beneficial to them.
So it has to be...
It's a two-way traffic.
Two-way traffic.
Most of the time.
Now, tell me, when I'm associating with people, what should I consider?
Very good. That's a very good question, especially in this time and age. For me, the character. Because remember, these people will also influence the way you become. We've had this cliche, peer influence. And many times when it's mentioned, we take our minds to school. No, peer influence cuts across the board, whether you're in elementary level, whether you're in high school, whether you're in the university, whether you're working, whether you are a grandfather. Still, there'll be that element of influence coming in. So, the first consideration that I will submit is character. How is this person, or how does this particular person behave? What are their ideals? What do they value?
Yes.
What do they hold dear? Because look at it today. There are decisions that you already must have made for yourself that will determine how you also associate with others and how others will embrace you.
Yes.
And this is determined by what have you already said no to. What have you said no to? Those things that you know, this one